This is Exonerated, the Cost of Wrongful Convictions, a podcast from WURD Radio. In this limited series, we share the powerful stories of people who spent years and sometimes decades behind bars for crimes they did not commit. We explore their fights to reclaim their freedom and realize justice from a system that punishes them unfairly. These interviews were first broadcast live on Evening Words with Dr. James Peterson and are now presented as a podcast so more listeners can hear directly from those impacted by wrongful convictions. This series is presented in partnership with the Pennsylvania Innocence Project and brought to you by Marrone Law Firm, standing by your side when it matters most.
Tonight, we delve into the powerful story of Lance, a man who spent 14 years wrongly incarcerated for a 1995 fatal shooting. Despite a lack of physical evidence and a witness failing to identify him in a live lineup, Lance was convicted in 1998 and sentenced to life without parole. Lance is an active member of the Pennsylvania Innocence Project, community of freed and exonerated clients who has spoken as an advocate for changes to policy and practices that can improve outcomes for the wrongfully convicted in Pennsylvania, including advocacy for compensation for people who have been exonerated. As we explore his journey to exoneration in 2014 and his ongoing advocacy for policy changes and compensation for the wrongfully convicted in Pennsylvania, let's welcome to Evening Words for Exonerated, the Cost of Wrongful Convictions, Mr. Lance Felder. Lance, welcome to the program.
I'll take the phone. Oh, hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, good brother. How you doing today?
I'm good. Can't complain.
Okay, Lance, can you kind of tell us your story in your own words? How did this case and this wrongful conviction unfold for you from your perspective?
I have to go back to the roots of it, because how I got caught into this in this case was, well, it started from, when my mom passed away. Well, it was just juveniles in the house. It was my older brother, me, my little brother, and my little sister. So at that time, we ain't had nobody really to take care of us. So my aunt, she came and got my sister and said that she could only get her. She couldn't help the boys out. So now it's just 3 juveniles in the house. So at that time, my older brother was, in the street, selling drugs and whatever. And me and my little brother, we needed money too. So we tried to do the school thing, but that didn't work because we had no adult over top of our head. So we wound up ending up in the streets with my older brother.
About how old were you at that time, Lance? About how old were you at that time?
I was 14. So I was selling drugs at the age of 14, meeting a lot of guys and some guys. And this is all in the records, and you can, is clear proof of it that you can look it up. But, so we met the guys and they wanted to rob somebody around the neighborhood. And at this time I was in the house. So they wanted to rob a guy from around the neighborhood. And they wound up robbing them, killing them, and they ran to my residence, my house. So a witness seeing them, and my co-defendant, shout out to Eugene, my co-defendant Eugene Gilliard, me and him used to always run in and out the house. So when a witness seen 2 guys running in the house with guns, running to my house with guns, automatically the witness thought it was me and Eugene. So when they interviewed the guy, well, one of the guys, he said he was drinking that night. And then he said he didn't see me. He said, when I see the 2 guys running past the house, it wasn't Lance. I know Lance. He lives down the street. But later on, come to find out that the detectives made him say that it was me. So when he came to court, he said it was me that ran past him that night. So I had a bad attorney. So I don't know why he didn't argue none of this and why you say this before and didn't say it afterwards. But, so it came out like that. So, at that time, we was trying to, submit evidence. I let them know, like, if you look at these evidence, you'll see that. And that the night that the murder happened, it was a witness that knew the guys who did it. And she wound up giving a testimony about saying that she knew the guys who did it. She seen the guys who did it or whatever. They looked over that too.
Wow.
And she was saying the guy's name. So, we wound up finally getting found guilty. Eugene had got found guilty of second degree, and I got found guilty of first degree. And I'm a juvenile. I'm 16, so I'm noticing, because they saying now I had to fight for the death penalty. So I'm like, I gotta fight for the death penalty. What's going on? So my lawyer telling me that when you get found guilty of first degree, you gotta see if you're gonna get life or death. So I had to do a whole nother trial, and the jury came out with a life sentence.
So you're 16. So did you have a public defender, Lance, or what was your?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So you had a public defender. It sounds like some law enforcement folks or the prosecution wasn't interested in hearing all the evidence. You're 16 years old. Can you describe how you felt? What was going through your mind when you got that life without parole sentence?
It was shocking, like, because again, like, I'm 16. I don't know what's going on, like. So my lawyer telling me everything. I don't know nothing about the law.
Mm-hmm.
So he running everything down to me. And again, like you said, he was a public defender. So it seemed like he wasn't really trying to fight for me.
Mm-hmm. 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 Do you remember the first jail or the first prison that you were sent to once your case was adjudicated?
Well, how it goes is, once you get found guilty, you're already down in the county prison. I was at CFCF. So once you get found guilty, you get sent to the hole because you got found guilty of murder, and they don't want you, in interacting with, with the other inmates, because they probably got like a drug case or something like that. So after that,
they put you in solitary at 16?
Yes. And then, once your paperwork and all that done, then they send you straight to Camp Hill.
Right.
And when you go to Camp Hill, that's the jail where they telling you, you sit there maybe about 2 weeks, because that's the jail they'll tell you what prison you're going to spend the rest of your time.
Mm-hmm.
So went there, then you go to Greatest Ford, then I went straight to Albion. I was at SCI Albion. That's where I spent the rest most of my time at.
And where's Albion located?
Ooh, that's up by Erie, PA.
So this means that if anyone from your family or any friends wanted to visit you, they would have to drive 6 hours?
7 hours.
7 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours. They got to drive 7 hours. So
talk to us.
That was hard. That was really hard for my family, because you got to think about it too. Is that at that point in time, I really didn't have a family.
Right.
It was like my sister and my little brother. My older brother, he got caught into this situation that I'm locked up for now. That I was locked up for.
Mm-hmm. So
it was like bad blood between us. So I didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to talk to me. So really all I had was my sister and my brother. My daughter was a little too young to, come up there. So.
Well, how would he have possibly gotten there? Erie is literally on the other side of the state. It's closer to Ohio than it is to Philly.
Yeah. So my sister and my brother and them used to come. They used to come and spend the night at the hotel. So we can have a whole weekend of visit. So they'd come Friday, and I could see them Friday and Saturday.
So talk to us a little bit about what was the environment like inside Albion. You're 16 years old. You're processed. You're going to be there, or think at least initially you're going to be there. What's your mind frame like once you're first in there?
You're listening to Exonerated on WURD.
Insurance companies have lawyers, shouldn't you? At Marrone Law, they fight for people with serious injuries and they deliver big results. From car accidents and catastrophic injuries to medical malpractice and civil rights violations, they fight, they win. You deserve a team that gets results. They've recovered hundreds of millions for their clients, and they're ready to fight for you. Marrone Law. Get justice. Call 215-732-6700 today.
And now back to Exonerated, the cost of wrongful convictions on WURD.
Well, when I first went upstate, it was like in my head that I was spending the rest of my life in prison. So now I've got attitude. I'm arguing with guards. I'm getting sent to the hole. And all that and it's all stored in my head that I'm never going home. So I don't care what y'all do to me. But when I got older and I got really into my religion, I straightened up a little bit. But I was a hothead a little bit. I was a hothead.
What was that religion, and who introduced you to it initially?
It was Islam. I was Muslim like on the streets, but I really wasn't. But when I got locked up, I really was practicing like reading, praying, and I met, Muslims that was in the prison. And, they had more knowledge. I remember one time when I went upstate, I came out to the prison yard, didn't know nobody, walking by myself, and it was a guy, he was Muslim, he was standing out there, excuse me, and, he came to me, approached me, and was like, you Muslim? Like, yeah. And we started walking the track, we started talking, and he introduced me to all the other brothers, and that made me, like, really get deep into my religion.
Do you think that was what helped you kind of endure through the first decade or so that you were incarcerated?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Gave me more patience. Because when you filing your appeal, so like say it goes in order, like state, once you file your state appeal, they deny you, then you go to the Superior Court, they can deny you, then you go to the the Supreme Court, they would deny you in the federal court. So, and these take years. Like I can file for a motion for a new trial in the Superior Court, and that would take about almost 3 to 4 years for them to get back with you and say, "Oh, you denied."
Wow.
So having patience, that's what I'm saying. The religion gave me patience on me dealing with that situation, because there's been a time where when me and Eugene was just about to get back in court, we was at the federal court. And, they say that once you file for the federal court, you can't file no more. It's done. So I was writing to my co-defendant and was like, look, this is our last, what we going to do? This is our last, resort on the federal. But alhamdulillah, that's good that once that happened, the guy who really committed the crime confessed to the crime.
Do you remember what year that was that happened? Or maybe how long had you already been incarcerated at the point at which the person who actually committed the crime made the confession?
I've been in prison about 14 years.
So I'm trying to figure out how many times did you go through that appeal process? Because you're saying there's multiple levels to it. Yeah. How many was it twice or was it 3 times?
Once you get found guilty, you file to the to the state court. Which that don't take long. They'll deny you. They'll deny you in 30 days.
And so you were denied at that first level, and then you went to the next level.
Yes. So it's levels. Yeah.
And you wanted to confer with Eugene because you wanted to make sure he understood that this was the last time that you all would be able to appeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did he feel about that? He was in what? Do you remember where he was? Like you said, you wrote to him. Where was he?
He was at SCI Albion.
Okay.
So inmates cannot write each other. right?
Right.
But if you're co-defendants, you can go to your counselor in prison and you fill out a form, and he fills out a form, and they confirm that we both co-defendants. Now we can write each other. So I can write straight to him, and he can write straight to me.
So when did you connect with the Pennsylvania Innocence Project? Was it after that confession? I'm trying to figure out how things moved in sequence. So the confession was made, and obviously that changed things for you and your co-defendant. Yeah. But how fast did that happen? The confession comes, and then what happens next?
All right. So if I can remember, the guy who really committed the crime, he wound up killing a guy. And again, this is all public record, so. But he wound up killing a guy. And when he killed the guy, he jumps in his car, goes to sleep. Cops around the car. He got the gun, everything on his lap, everything. So he already know that he's done. So as he's going to trial for that case, he told his lawyer, I got information on a homicide that I did, and this guy is locked up for it, and I want to, confess to it. So his attorney was saying that it wasn't a good idea, but he forced his attorney to do it. So his attorney got with my attorney. And
did you have that same public defender, or you had a different attorney at this point?
Well, at this time, my little brother was running around trying to find me a lawyer. So he kept going. So he kept going to Jules Epstein. He kept going to his office, talking to him. Kept going to his office, talking to him. So how Jules Epstein connected was with the Innocent Project was Eugene used to always write to the Innocent Project. And they used to go back and forth, and he used to send them whatever his evidence and all that he's proven that he's innocent. So at the time that he confessed, my brother was telling Jules Epstein. So when I think that when the Innocent Project connects to Eugene, they said they were going to take his case. That's when Jules was like, okay, he can connect with them, and that's how he became my attorney.
Thank God for that. Lance, I got a question for you.
Yes.
What advice would you give to someone fighting their charges, knowing they weren't involved in the charged crimes? That there are going to be a lot of people that will listen to this. Some of them will be people who have relatives who are in this situation, or they might be in this situation themselves. What kind of advice would you give to someone who was in your shoes way back in the late 1990s?
Like I said before, patience. That's what I think. It's like you gotta have patience. Like appeals gonna take a long time. Attorneys gonna play with you. You just gotta have patience. That's all I really can say is like patience.
Oh, that's a simple but powerful message. Let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing, these days, Lance. Talk to us about what your day-to-day is like. Well, actually, before we even get to that, do you remember the day you finally got out? Do you remember how you felt and what was going on in your mind when you actually got out?
Oh, yeah. It was a good feeling. I remember what I really, really remember is when they took me back to my cell, and this one we was at the courtroom though, the cell at the courtroom at CJC, and Jules called me out to come to talk to him. So they brought me out my cell and put me in another cell, the visiting cell. And when Jules came in, man, we both broke down crying. Broke down crying.
Wow.
Yeah. That day right there, that's how I remember that day.
What was life like for you at first when you first came out? How was the adjustment, the kind of reacclimation process? What were some of the struggles you had getting used to being on the outside?
Everything was fast. And I had to get a lot of things done because when I got locked up at 16, as I was saying, I didn't have no parents, so I didn't know my social security number. I ain't had no birth certificate. So, John from the Innocent Project, he helped me out with all that. Like, he helped me get, because at that time I had no job. So before I got a job, he helped me get, like, food stamps and a couple of dollars on the card. He helped me go get my Social Security card, birth certificate. He helped me out. Health.
Literally you starting from scratch. You starting from basics.
Yes. Like a brand new baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so how old were you at that point in time now? What are you, it's 12, 14, what was your age at the point in which you're getting Social Security and getting all those?
35.
Wow.
35. Never knew my Social Security number.
Lance, now you're an active member of the Exonerated community. You've been speaking about these things, but you're specifically focused on being an advocate for changes to Pennsylvania policies about what's possible in terms of compensation for those who are wrongfully convicted. Talk to us a little bit about that and where you are in that work.
Well, I can't remember the bill that we put in for, but Pennsylvania, we don't get no money. They kick you out. They tell you go ahead. Like, people like, and I said this in another speech, that when people that's getting paroled or something, they find them a job. They find them housing. They go to, the sleep at until they get themselves together. Exonerees, we get, okay, yeah,
you're free to go. Just get out of here.
So they can get out of here, kick you right out. Man. Now you're just standing out looking around like, what am I supposed to do? But I'm glad that, the Innocence Project, like I said before, like, they have all that here now, where you can find a job. Like I said, John help you find health insurance. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have your birth certificate, all that. You know what I'm saying? So.
And so you're still working with the project. You said the Commonwealth doesn't have any laws about compensating those who are wrongfully convicted. You guys put in a bill.
They don't. Yeah.
Okay.
So you
go ahead.
That's the point with me with that, because, you got the other states where, these guys get exonerated and, they getting 30 million, 40 million, but you come to Pennsylvania, you got to stand in front of the judge and talk to the judge, and you got to tell the judge why they got to give you something because you innocent.
Yeah, so I mean, Pennsylvania is one of 13 states that don't have this law. Where do you think it's possible that in your lifetime, with the work with the Pennsylvania Innocence Project and other lawyers, that they'll be able to reverse this law, or what? Go ahead.
Because I know it's a bill. Because we spoke at downtown, there was a bill out. I don't know the name of the bill, but it's a bill out right now that we trying to get passed about, so when people get exonerated, they don't have to go through the things that we got to go through now. They can just go ahead and, get money.
And what's your day-to-day life like now? I mean, how are you able to kind of put some of this behind you, keep it in perspective? Like, what's your daily operations these days?
Well, I try to keep my mind focused on work, family, and things like that, but it's really, you can never put this behind. I don't know how the other exonerees is, but me, I can't, because, I spent half of my life in prison. So for real, I really only knew prison than outside world, because I spent most of my life in there than out here. So I just keep focused on, with the family and work, make money, and that's about it.
Your sister and brother must have been extremely excited to get you home. How are they feeling? How are you all doing as a family today?
Oh, it's wonderful. Me and my sister, we stay in contact. And unfortunately, my little brother passed away in 2020 from a car accident. So,
oh man,
that put me back to like a down place. But Prayer, man. Prayers is wonderful, because once I pray, it just seems like it's a load off my body.
Lance, as you continue your work with the project and trying to rebuild your life, what do you think that people in our community need to be aware of about stories like this? I mean, one of the reasons why we're doing Exonerated is because we really want to get your story out into the world so people can understand, what's really happening with this criminal justice system, and that there are innocent people who are caught up in a really aggressive system. That's why we're doing it. But what do you think people in our community need to understand about your story and about the kind of work that you're doing with the Innocence Project now?
It's just so hard because with my situation it's the officers. Like, you got people that's telling you that such and such didn't do it, but you're making this person say that they did do it. You see what I'm saying? So, it's hard. I can't answer that one. Because,
but you do. Go ahead.
Because, all right. So, in my situation, right, when it's a person saying that they didn't, they say, okay, that person didn't do it. And you saying, and they telling you, like, I think I know who did it, but they're not listening to it, because in my situation, the detectives thought that if they locked me and Eugene up, they thought that we was gonna get a guy who really did it. Because I remember when I was in the district, when they was interviewing me, they had us in there for 3 days, no food, no drink, for 3 days, cuffed to a.
Is that legal? That can't be legal, Lance.
Cuffed to a chair, and they just kept coming back and forth, and they kept telling me, coming back in, saying, "Okay, Eugene just gave me everything. He told me that you did it." But now in my head, I'm like, he couldn't tell you that because we didn't do it. So they kept coming back and forth, and that third day, they came in and they say, "You know what? We're going to arrest you for a homicide." And then the detective told me, he said, "I know you guys didn't do it, but I know y'all know who did it."
Unbelievable.
So my thing is, so me answering your question is that it's hard because it really comes down to these detectives and these cops that's framing us for something that we didn't do.
Lance Felder, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to share your study, your story with our audience. I also want to thank the Pennsylvania Innocence Project, our series sponsor, Marrone Law Firm. Lance, Godspeed to you, good brother. We do appreciate you sharing your story, and everybody on our team, everybody listening to you tell your story, we wish you all the best going forward, good brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
You've been listening to Exonerated, The Cost of Wrongful Convictions, a WURD radio podcast produced in partnership with the Pennsylvania Innocence Project and brought to you by Marrone Law Firm. To learn more about the Pennsylvania Innocence Project and their work to free the wrongfully convicted and support their reentry, visit painnocence.org. For more programming like this, tune in to WURD Radio at 900 AM and 96.1 FM or online at WURDradio.com. And don't forget to follow this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. We are WURD Radio, progressive Black Talk Media.